Hi, Natalie.
Hey, Scotty, how are you?
I am so good. It's good to see you. And I'm really excited about our podcast conversation today. I have a question for you. Have you ever driven a car hands-free?
Oh, yes, I love hands-free driving. Very convenient.
It is convenient. What's your favorite thing about hands-free driving?
I like that I don't have to keep my legs, constantly engaged of like, do I have to anticipate braking or, do I need to go a little bit faster, right? Like I can relax and enjoy the longer drive.
So, thinking about hands-free driving, were you nervous the first time you tried it?
Oh, definitely. Was wondering like, how is the technology going to know when I need to brake, or how far the other vehicles in front of us, right? Or anticipating maybe a lane change. How does that work? And after the first go around, I'm like, wow, like this is amazing. I can't believe like I didn't use this before.
Right. And so how long did it take you to learn to trust the system?
It was after emerging from a very busy, on-ramp onto a highway in Fort Worth and finally being able to like, okay, it's engaging, it's noticing that there's two cars in front, it's waiting before it now will merge to the next lane. Okay, now I feel confident because we also have a trailer in the back. So now I know that it really has to be mindful of what it's doing. And I just thought, okay, I can sit back and relax. And now I could really, enjoy the ride.
You can't take your eyes off the road.
Oh, not at all. You still have to look forward, keep your hands nearby, and aware just in case something might change. You're ready to put your hands back on the wheel.
I really appreciate all the notifications. And I think that's one of the areas where they've gotten really good at not only adaptive cruise, but also hands-free driving systems. They've come up with really good graphics. And I will say not a couple years ago, probably like 6, 8, 10 years ago, when they started to really, when more and more brands started to introduce adaptive cruise driving, it was a little confusing because like, how do I tell it's working?
Right.
And I think a lot of these companies really started to focus on, we need to be better communicators. We need graphics, we need notifications, we need imagery that lets people know very clearly what the system is doing. So I think that's been a really big advancement. And recently I got to go and test out Blue Cruise 1.5, which is Ford's hands-free driving system. I've been driving with Blue Cruise 1.3 for a while now. And so I did actually get to I know the 1.3 system pretty well. And so it was pretty amazing to get a very strong sense of what the difference is between the two systems and learn what the differences are in terms of what you get in this one versus what you get in that one. And also how they have sharpened the response, how they've improved the technology, how they've answered questions from consumers or anxiety from consumers, because not everybody loves the system, or not everybody trusts it. And even my husband was like, I don't know, you might get pulled over for, distracted driving or something, because the car was kind of bouncing lane to lane, like within the lane, but it seemed to be bouncing around a little bit. And I was like, yeah, I guess I need to just make sure that I'm kind of centered it, make sure it's doing, like I'm watching it instead of it just doing the job. Right. And now I feel like with the 1.5 version, it really is doing the job the way it should. And I think they needed to add some extra hardware, because I know that with the 1.5, there's a hardware change. So if you have 1.3, unfortunately, you're not going to get that update in an over-the-air update in a Ford car. So you're going to have to just wait till you get a new car to get the hardware. But you were towing a trailer.
Oh yes, full on trailer. And it was my first time towing too. So that was very ambitious. And I was like, you know what, if we're going to do it, we're going to go all out.
Well, you are fearless. You are definitely fearless. I'm going to get you that hat.
Remember we did that nosedive into the mud pit. I'm ready.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, I'm really excited to share that not only did we test out Blue Cruise 1.5, and we'll talk about that in a little bit too, but also one of the tech executives, or one of the executives who is leading this program, named Becca Tsallis. So here is my conversation with Becca. Hey guys, I am here with Becca Tsallis from Blue Cruise.
Hi,
She
Paul.
works for Ford, and she is one of the people charged with ensuring that you have the best hands-free drive experience. And I'm first going to just start off by saying congratulations. The new system is really good.
Thank you, the
It's
1.5.
really good. The 1.5, yes. The newest one, which is available on the 2025 Mustang Mach-E.
Yep.
And then we'll also see it on the 2026 Ford Explorer.
Yep.
Correct?
That's correct.
So, yeah, and it's good. It's really good.
Thank you. We've worked hard. We're really excited to bring it to market.
So tell me, or tell us, what was it that you wanted to accomplish with the 1.5 Blue Cruise?
I think with every new version of Blue Cruise, we just want to make it better. The goal is to make the driving experience as good as we possibly can. And every day, new technology is being developed that allows us to provide more and more hands-free driving, and we want to get it in the hands of our customers because we know it improves the experience of driving, and our customers spend a lot of time in the car.
Do you commute every day?
I do. I commute from Ann Arbor to Detroit, which is about 50 miles, all highway. I have 2 boys who are active in travel sports. I live in the car, and so I
mean, who doesn't live in the car?
honestly,
Don't we all?
And I'm a technophobe. Like, I don't have a lot
Oh.
of technology, and so for me, the value it provides to me, it makes me realize that even customers who are not super tech forward, if we can do the right job promoting it and making them confident behind the wheel, this will add value to their driving experience, which is what I love. Because there are people who love tech just for tech, and then there's people like me who just spend a lot of time in the car and want the best experience possible.
Well, I'm going to say that's me too. I love hands-free driving for traffic.
Oh,
And
for
I think
sure.
we talk about it as something that we would use on the highway for road trips and whatever, which is great.
Yeah.
But I really like it when there's a lot of traffic, and then I can just let the car do all the hard work, and
Yeah.
I get to just sit back and relax and listen to a podcast or talk to my kids or just observe things that I don't really get to see all the time. Like, oh, wow, look, there's a new Chipotle going in over there.
Yeah,
So,
I agree. I think there is a little bit of this bias that it's a road trip product, and it works great when you're on a road trip. But on my daily commute, when traffic is backed up, all of those are times that are great for Blue Cruise. It does take a little finesse, right? Learning what the right distance is for you in the car in front of you. But I do wish for people to start using it more in those situations because I think it's a use case we don't talk about enough.
yeah, I agree. I agree. I think anything that makes driving easier, and I think especially for older drivers, if they can learn to use all these tools, it will extend their time behind the wheel,
Yeah.
which I think is another thing that we don't really talk about. But I'd love to see more people using these features because they'll have fewer accidents, honestly.
I agree. So my mom is a widow, and she lives by herself. She drives long distances all the time by herself, and technology like Blue Cruise gives me a little extra confidence in her ability to keep doing that. And I know it's just going to keep getting better. I agree. I think there's so much potential that can preserve people's independence that I hope we all get to see together in the near future.
So you talked to a lot of customers before updating Blue Cruise. What kind of feedback did you hear from people?
The thing they tell us the most is they love it, but when it is telling them to take back control, like it's disruptive, and so they love it until it stops working.
Right.
And so our number one focus is how can we give them more continuous stretches of use without them having to resume control? And so that's the number one feedback we get. We would hear some feedback early on about how the vehicle feels like it moves around in the lane, and so we worked to create a more stable experience.
It does feel that way too. It definitely feels more stable.
And I think the thing we're most proud about is you can design technology like Blue Cruise lots of different ways, and you can find different experiences in other vehicles, but our number one goal was to make it approachable and to make it drive like you were driving. And so it creates a really natural feel that is not intimidating for customers and meets them where they are. And I think that's what we're most proud of, is that we hear that back from customers. It does drive naturally. It wasn't scary. And so I think that is what we take from customers, and we continue to refine to make it a better experience with their feedback.
So tell us about your career path and how you came to work on Blue Cruise.
Oh my gosh. It's been a long journey. I spent a decade in hospitality working for Darden restaurants.
Okay. Red Lobster.
Customer,
Cheddar Bay biscuits.
So I worked at Darden restaurants. I was responsible for like the customer experience at Darden. And then I went back to school. I got an MBA. I came to work for Ford. I worked in finance for a long time. I worked in product development for a long time.
Wow.
I worked in our commercial real estate division for a long time. And then for the electric vehicle division. And then from there ended up working at Blue Cruise, which this is what is the most, the biggest benefit to working to a company like Ford is I've had 6 mini careers all within my 17 years at Ford. So I feel really lucky.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. And you're on like one of the most advanced things that Ford is doing, which is so cool.
Yeah, I'm very privileged to be able to continue to work on new things that are exciting and that are unknown, and you kind of get to chart your own course and enter white space and try and turn it into something that customers value and is good for Ford.
So let's talk. So how long have you been at Ford?
17 years.
17 years. Wow. And so 6 mini careers inside Ford. Who would you tell us about that journey and who helped you out? Like mentors, role models. How did that happen to have 6 mini careers?
I would say there's been a lot of people. It's the people at Ford that have kept me there for 17 years. And every different job I've had or role I've had, I've been able to find someone in leadership who saw potential in me, wanted to help me grow and advance. And then I would say what's been really fun is over the last, I'd say 5 years, we have been attracting more and more people to Ford from outside automotive and outside of Ford. So people that are new to Ford with unique experiences. And some of those leaders really took me under their wing and taught me things that I had never seen before because I had been at Ford for so long. And so I'd say I've had a couple leaders who've been really key in showing me how to show up for myself and advocate for myself. And instead of being frustrated when I wanted to make change, but I just kept hitting a brick wall, showing me ways to navigate making change in different ways. And I would say that's been really the key to success, is continuing to find leaders that support me, give me the autonomy, they trust me to go make decisions and make change happen. And that's been the most rewarding thing for me.
I'm going to say that empowerment to trust you and let you take an idea forward, that's that's like a differentiator
For sure.
between companies that have really great cultures and those that don't.
Yeah. And it's not only give me that autonomy, but also there's no repercussions or consequence when it fails, because things are going to fail.
Right.
And so to create that safe space where you can try something new and know that it doesn't matter, as long as you were thoughtful in your approach, you get another at bat to try it again. And I think that's the difference between a great culture at Ford and other cultures outside.
And so tell us about being a mentor and being an advisor to people who are younger and earlier in their career journey.
Yeah, I think that is kind of interesting because you see there's changes in different generations and what they expect in the workforce. And I think I see it as my obligation to do the same for others as mentors have done for me. And I think the number one thing I tell them over and over is really just do the work, do the homework. You got to dive deep and understand the problem. And when you do that, the solution you're going to create, it might not be the right solution, but it'll be a better solution. And be patient, because nothing happens overnight, especially at a big company like Ford.
Patience is hard.
Yes. So if you become the expert on your thing and you're the most credible one person in the room, you are going to get to where you want to go. But you have to do the work.
So notice that she did not talk about being a woman or male-dominated environment. Is that still something that creeps into your head, or is it something that you don't see as much anymore?
I don't see it as much anymore. I mean, if we're being honest, 17 years ago, it was a very different work environment than it is today. And that is not something, there is never a situation that I'm in that I feel like the decisions that are being made or the reviews of my performance or the opportunities that I get are limited because I'm a woman. Never.
What would you say to younger women who are thinking about entering automotive, or if they're thinking, oh, I'm looking for a really fun career, would automotive check that list for me? What would you say to women who are considering automotive?
I would say it's a great space because there is so much that goes into automotive. There is marketing, and there is finance, and there's engineering, and there's product development. There are so many different paths you can go down. And even if you don't plan to be here forever, your exposure to lots of different parts of the business will be really impactful to your next job. So I definitely think it's a great place to be. And sometimes I think people shy away from auto, but it's really the diversity of opportunity that makes it a really great space, especially for people out of school.
I'm going to say I think one of my favorites is all the engineering that goes into the user experience here. There's a lot of like video game content or inspiration. So last question, you're a mom, you have two sons. How old are they?
15 and 13.
15. Oh, you're in the
yeah
that's like the witching hour of parenthood.
It is. It has so much magic and so much sass.
Yeah. So what do you want your sons to take away from your career?
Oh, that's such a good question. I want them to see how hard I work and understand that to have the things we have and the opportunities we have, you have to work for it. No one's going to hand it to you. And I hear them say a lot of times, like, do you really have to take that call, or do you have to work now? And the answer is yes. There are lots of times that I have the opportunity to pick them up from school or attend something at school. We go on vacation, but when you are working, you have a responsibility and an obligation to show up for work as well. And I hope that they see how hard I work and that they understand the importance of that in their future.
That's awesome. Thank you, Becca.
Of course.
I think we have to get this car back because the clock is ticking.
And it's about to rain.
They're gonna come yank it away from us if we don't take it back. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's so good to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Take care.
And we're back. That was really cool. Well, Scotty, do you have that where, your kids kind of call you in the middle of an interview?
Yeah. And actually what Becca said is the same thing I say, which is, sorry, but I have to look and I might have to take this. And, I love being with an executive who is mindful, has one ear towards what matters most in life, and that's our families and our kids, and is there for them if they need to talk to her during the middle of the day. And so it's pretty good. It reminds me that, we're all human, that nobody steps away from being human. Just because you're an executive, just because you're a high level leader and thinker, doesn't mean that you are not also responsible for that little person or those little people. And if they need you, and you got to stop what you're doing and take care of them. And as a woman, that is so rewarding to see somebody do that. It's rewarding to see women do it. It's rewarding, really, to see men do that. We're like, oh, right. Wait, I gotta talk to my kid. And I think it's also great for the kids because they know, like, my mom does this job or my dad has this important job, but I matter so much to them that they will stop doing what they're doing and take my call if I need them. And then we got to teach them, like, you can't call just because you want me to stop and pick up Chipotle on the way home from work.
Valid.
But do you get that as well?
Oh, all the time. Like, even when we record these, I'll hear a little, I'm like, okay, we're not. I'll like, sideline. I know when he's doing it, he wants to be a part of the action, but for other things, I know the difference of the knock, but it's like, it's important that I always take breaks with him too and say, hey, look, I have my job, but you are my priority. And I think that's really cool, to show that even in the workplace, because, a lot of the times, especially whether women, auto, corporate, whatever it is, we're always told like, you have to be everything everywhere all at once. And it's like, it's okay to pause and take that moment. But, a woman empowered is a good example to the young ones, like, hey, we all have to take time for each other. We take the ride together every day in these cars. And that's truly what matters, is the time we spend with each other.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. And I feel like the being able to recognize that this is who we are and then move forward in our world, in our jobs, in our careers, having our leaders above us and leaders around us understand that we're whole people. It makes it so much easier, so much better, and so much rewarding, so much more rewarding. And I feel like it also helps me connect with the car brand a little bit better, to know that this car company is filled with people who all respect one another, and they respect the place that people come from in their lives. And whether it's, having to take care of family, and sometimes family comes first, to people who might see things or need to do things differently because they are differently abled, or that who bring, a different perspective to work, maybe through what they wear or what they, just how they approach work, maybe the culture that they grew up in, and they approach things a little bit differently. Fresh ideas, that gives us insight into customers, insight to others who are not like us, who we're not like them. And so I think there's so much value in all of that. And even though we're kind of in the post DEI world right now, which will make me cry a little bit, or maybe a lot, I am grateful for all that has been interwoven into our lives through all the DEI efforts until now. And I'm pretty sure that movement will change names and change, maybe adjust its mission a little bit, and it'll be back. I think it'll be back. I think we're in a tough time right now, and a lot of people are feeling very marginalized. But it can't last. That's a realistic impossibility. It can't last. So I'm looking forward to the next era of DEI. But I will say, I'm grateful when I see the things that it brought forward in our world popping up, like Becca's son calling during our interview. So good.
Yes.
So good.
As a community, we just got to hold it down and carry each other together and keep empowering the way through.
Mm-hmm. And shooting interviews with hats on the wall and cupcakes on the wall.
Yes.
Bringing ourselves to work, right?
Exactly. Got to bring the fun.
That's right. Well, thank you for your time, Natalie. Thank you, everybody, for being here, for joining us for What Drives Her, the podcast from A Girl's Guide to Cars. Subscribe here and follow us wherever you get your podcasts. Thank you to Natalie, my co-host and producer of What Drives Her. I'm Scotty Reiss. Our podcast is edited by our editor, Steph Howard, music by Embato Elements. And we look forward to seeing you again next time on What Drives Her. Thanks, everybody.